What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative, a channel where I like to talk about all sorts of fun bookish related things in the science fiction, fantasy, horror, manga, after next month, nonfiction. You know what? On this channel, we like to talk about reading. What's up? Good morning. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing today? I am here to talk to you about what all I read last week, what I'm gonna read this week, and what's on deck for next week. If you happen to be new around these here parts, I always start off my weekly update with talking about the manga that I'm currently buddy reading with Una from the Codex Cantina, plus a few other people that have joined in on the Discord. If you're someone who loves manga and you are interested in joining in on the buddy read, I'll put a link in the cards to the video that Una and I outline our reading plan for the next few months. If you want to join in, we would love to have you. Currently, we are working our way through Tokyo Ghoul, and I am absolutely loving this manga series. The artwork in this manga just continues to surprise and amaze me. It is just absolutely the most tragically beautiful scenes I've seen. My friend Alex tells me that it just continues to get better, which is very exciting to me. I keep getting stuck in the story because I just keep flipping back and forth looking at the different panes and the artwork that's contained within them, and I just love how he shows expression on the characters' faces. But it is a fantastic story. This week's volumes have had a lot of information about the ghouls and their society, the world they live in, how they exist, how their abilities work. It's just been really fascinating, and then also a little exhilarating because on the other side of things, you have this coalition of investigators, or who are human, that are intent on capturing, killing, studying, and just wiping out what they see as a threat to humanity. It is a fantastic series. I'm just so sad because it's going to be over this week. Of course, we're going to be moving right into Tokyo Ghoul Re. So hopefully I get to continue following some of the characters that I've just grown really attached to in this one. Una could not have chosen a better manga for us to read during the month of October. The only book I actually finished last week is The Patience of a Dead Man by Michael Clark, and that book was amazing. A lot of you know by now, I read multiple books, usually different genres at a time, to just keep things fresh, fun, and exciting. But when it came to The Patience of a Dead Man, that book took over my reading life. It was so good. It was a page turner. It scared the stuffing out of me. I would not go upstairs after dark because the loft was just too creepy. I heard, like, every sound my house made just became amplified. I was staring so hard into any dark, shadowy corner of any room. I mean, my eyes hurt from looking so hard into the darkness. That book scared the stuffing out of me. It is everything I have ever wanted in a scary story. I've already told Brad Proctor, anything you come across that's exactly like this book, I need to know. I need to know. I will read every single story like that on this earth. At first, I was like, man, it's the first of a trilogy. Do I really need another series? But now, after reading it, I'm extremely stoked that it is, because that means there's 2 more books in this story that I'm going to get to consume. They're on the way. Once I finished The Patience of a Dead Man, which luckily I bought on my Kindle, because if I had purchased the physical book, I probably would have gotten the whole set, and then my whole rest of my month TBR would have been thrown out the window because I would have binged all 3 of them. TBR be damned. It was that good. But fortunately, I had it on my Kindle and I was able to stick to my reading plan. And that meant I did get some work done on Oathbringer. I'm about 420 something pages in. It is a little bit of a slower pace. I am totally good with that. I feel that the pace of the book is matching my reading pace right now, and I'm just soaking in the information. I have learned so many things. I just recently finally found out the true story of why the Heralds quit. That the whole story of the Heralds giving up, basically, that is in one of the prologues of The Way of Kings, that particular part of the story was the one thing that had me interested in the series as a whole. That one prologue alone was enough for me to want to read the entirety of The Way of Kings. I wanted to know that story. Well, I didn't get it in Way of Kings. I didn't get it in Words of Radiance. I'm about 25% of the way through Oathbringer, and I finally got it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I actually had no predictions as far as what happened there, but the truth of the story was not what I expected. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still processing it, to be honest. There's so much intrigue and mystery. We're learning so much more about the whole story behind the past of how these desolations worked and what caused them. I'm loving it. What I'm not loving is Dalinar's flashbacks. Those are another thing I was not expecting. I love the man that he is present day. I don't like the young man that he came from. So I'm hoping over the course of the rest of the book, Sanderson shows some amazing character development that helps me just reconcile the anxiety I have over a young Dalinar, brings me back to loving present day Dalinar. I'm losing respect for him. You know, I guess I should expect that a good man may not always start as a good man. He may start as a terrible person, and then experiences, loss, and things of that nature shape him to become a better person. I mean, I don't know. I'm just confused about it, okay? This is why I got Oathbringer on Kindle. Holding that book for just that little bit of time made my hand hurt, y'all. I got little hands. I also finally got started on Leviathan Wakes, which is the shelf space book club pick of the month. I'm really enjoying it. The action starts right away. The mystery is there. The political maneuverings are just fantastic. I knew I was going to like this book because I absolutely adore the TV series. I've been watching the TV series for years, ever since Amazon first put it out. So I know exactly what's going to happen. That's okay. It's still a fun journey. It's almost like rewatching the TV show because the two follow each other very, very closely. The show was cast really well, in my opinion. When I'm reading about the characters, I'm picturing the actors from the show, and I hear all of the dialogue in their voices, which has been fantastic. It also helps with the Belters, who are people that were born and raised in space. They have a dialect all their own that's kind of like gibberish. I actually understand a lot of it because just from watching the show, it's kind of like if you ever played The Sims as a kid. They don't speak English, they just make sounds. But after you sink so many hours into playing it, you actually start to feel like you understand what they're saying. It's kind of like that. This one was really easy to get into. It's been a fun, fast read for me. With it being such a fun, fast, easy read, I am definitely on target to finish before the live show on November 1st. This is the kind of sci-fi space opera that I love. And finally, I started Monstre by Duncan Swan. I started it last Monday as a buddy read with Brad Proctor and a few other people that joined us in his Discord, which I'll have all that linked below if you want to join in. Even if you've already read it, but you want to see what we think about it or give us your thoughts, we'd love to have you. This book has just been absolutely riveting. It's another one that the action just begins right away. You get caught up in it. It's just a whirlwind of activity and so many emotions that are just happening all at once. Like, I was reading it this morning and I read for about 30 minutes and my heart was just racing the entire time. I mean, I just had to literally close the book and put it down just to let my heart rate recover. I was just that caught up in what was happening in this book. I've just been flying through it. It's so hard to put down once you pick it up. It's being touted as a post-apocalyptic horror. In my opinion, it's more of a sci-fi thriller with some underlying elements of horror. But that's just my preliminary opinion. I'm only a third of the way in. That could definitely change. There's a lot of stuff that's going to keep your heart rate just straight out the top. I'm loving it so far. I just have to keep telling myself, this is his debut novel. The writing is just absolutely beautiful. It just feels like someone who's been writing for a while. I just can't get over the fact that this is his debut novel. And I know a lot of you are saying, but Leslie, you love every book you read. Yeah, most of the time I do. I am very easy to please, and of course I'm going to choose books that I think I'm gonna like, and I know myself pretty well. So yeah, most of the time you're gonna hear me talk about a book, I'm going to love it because I'm gonna choose a book I like. Okay, so that's what I've read and what I'm still reading. As far as what is next on deck, I'm actually torn about that. I can't decide if I just want to focus down on Oathbringer so I can hurry up and read Dawn Shard when it comes out before reading Rhythm of War, or do I want to sneak in one last creepy read before the end of the month? I'm probably gonna sneak in Mexican Gothic. This is one I've heard so much about. I've been wanting to read it forever. Dawn Shard and Rhythm of War will still be there when I get done, right? So that's a wrap on my week. It was a phenomenal week of reading. I've been reading so many good things this month. Have you read any of the books I mentioned today? Especially The Patience of a Dead Man, because if you have, I need you to get down in those comments and tell me every title you've ever read that is similar so I can get that. Other than that, I would love to hear what you guys have been working on reading wise. Tell me how your week's going. Are you dressing up for Halloween? Are you doing anything fun? Hit me up, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.